Good afternoon, steammate, and I mean afternoon. What I've had today, I'll try not to moan, I'll try not to go on, but I've had the wrong parts delivered. It's now 4:30 and I'm only just starting the gearbox job, so excuse me for it being a little bit short, should we say, if I'm not in the jovial mood of yesterday. So it's gearbox in day today, part 2. I've chose a technique of raising the gearbox off the floor using a strap. I've hog-tied the gearbox front and back. I'll show you that from down there. Another technique is to sit in the wheel bay, put your legs underneath and put the gearbox on your legs, and then lift the gearbox up with your legs. As you can see, I'll just give you a quick look. As you can see, the new clutch is fitted, all lined up with the technique I used yesterday. I've raised the gearbox up somewhat already. It's on blocks. I've strapped it up now. Let's just put that strap round there because that's coming away from where it was. Right, okay, yeah. So as you can see, I've strapped all that up, front and back. It's going to lift it nice and square in the air. I've put the blocks underneath anyway, so if it does fall, it's going to fall on wood blocks, as well as being lifted off the ground already and being somewhat there. As you can see, I've got it over this bit before I've started pulling up. So let's see today's technique and how we're going to do it. As you can see, I've got this is a solid metal steel bar, and it's rock solid. It's going nowhere. It can take the weight of the gearbox. It's not going to flex, and I've utilised the battery carrier. That's a nice tough frame there. All these ridges are for strengthening it, so it's nice and strong. The bar, as you can see, goes right through to there, nice and secure. I've more gripped it on so it can't slide off and roll off. So that's, get out a good tug, can't go anywhere. The other end, luckily on this engine, I've got a bit of the casting where I could stick the bar in. So that's not going to go anywhere now, that's solid. Little cheeky look at the clutch there. Here's the setup. So this bar, I'm going to put this strap around like this, loop it around. This is just a loose end, as you can see. Now, as I pull up on the gearbox, I'm going to hold on to this top strap and keep the tension on, and then I can basically just let go and I'm not holding the whole weight of the gearbox. And you can have rest points, because this is a heavy job. So this bit can go a little bit hot and sweaty and grunty, so I apologise for any noises. Sorry, I'm just trying to position the camera for you all. Oops. Right, okay, I think that's as good as we're going to get it. I'm not going to start messing around. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down and I'm going to pull up on the gearbox and then keep this hand here tight. This one, that one that you can see moving, I'm going to keep that tensioned. And we're going to gradually lift the gearbox up and keep the tension on. Like you say, I can let go now of one of my hands, and I'm only having to hold the tension on the rope, not the whole weight of this gearbox. That would just be ridiculous. Be very careful with your hands when you're reaching down, because if it moves, if it's caught on something and it suddenly swings, the weight of the gearbox is going to crush you four more fingers on something. So be very careful sticking your hands down there. Losing fingers. Hiya, hello. So we're just going to keep persevering with this. I've had a couple of goes at this already. And I keep seeming to get it's catching on something, part of the casting. Also, it's catching on this water pipe just here, that's just out of camera. Where my finger is, there's a water pipe here, and it's catching on that. Now that is really obstructing me, and it's really getting on my nerves now. So yeah, because also it's going to catch the lever of the gearbox. This lever you've got to watch, because if it goes all the way backwards, it's going to flick my new frost bearing off the spigot shaft, and I'm not going to know. So I've got to be very careful of that. So that pipe is in just an awful position. But anyway, crack on. So fingers under there, lift. There we go. So just a bit at a time. Oh, she's dropped back again. So that's why you don't stick your fingers down there. Lift, because the casting will catch all over the place. You just got to, just bit at a time. You're talking centimetres at a time. This is going up in the air, but I'm not holding the whole weight, so I'm not breaking my back, and it's still a one-man job. solid on something, so I've got to find out what that's caught on. Right, okay. I'm going to stop the video, come back for part 2 when I've found out and I've raised it up, or I might even change technique and slide my legs underneath now. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm just going to tie this off so I can let go of both hands, and that's going to stay in the air and not go anywhere. I need a tea. I need a tea. Right, let's just tie that off nice and secure. Okay, that's not going anywhere. There you go, both hands. She's safe, she's secure. Yeah. Right, gang. Okay. In fact, I'm gonna leave you running for 2 minutes, just in case all of a sudden raises up. Right. Let's get my blocks out of the way. So I'm now moving the blocks. Find out what we're caught on. Right. Okay. Right. I found out what we're caught on now, so that's cool. That's pushing that back. It was actually caught on the gear levers, so I was putting some tension on the gear levers after all. Okay, I think we can start pulling her up now. I'm glad I left the camera running now. Right, okay. So let's undo all these. Now I've got to be careful because I've took the blocks out, so I don't want this falling down now. But we're on a new angle. As you can see, it's changed the way the gearbox is sitting. Okay, I mean, even if it does go now, even if it does slip a little bit and I lose a bit of height, I'm not too bothered. Okay, let me just pull on that while I do this. This last curl out. Okay, so I've lost most of my height really now. Back to square one really, but never mind, it's unhooked. I'm happy.